So today I want to talk to you about free food for life. That's not a pipe dream, that's a reality for a lot of people. What you're looking at here is some Mammoth melting sugar snow peas. And yeah, they look kind of spent. But you know what's happening here? Some of you do. I'm saving me seed for next year. The last time I bought Mammoth melting sugar snow pea seeds, it's been a few years. Almost ran out this year, but at the end of every season, when I get done harvesting what we need for the year, we will let a bunch of these turn brown and go to seed. This is going to be year 5 for us that we've had all the Mammoth melting sugar snow peas that we want. And the last 3 have been at no cost to us, except for letting some of the plants go. Some of you might have seen our okra plants that we let grow every year. And we love our okra. We eat lots and lots of okra. We put okra away for the next year. But I'm going on year 7 of successful gardening right now. Only the first 2 years did we ever pay for the seeds for that okra. Okra is a very easy one to save seeds from. Now, there are plants that you cannot save seeds for and expect the same results. One of those might be a hybrid tomato, let's say. A hybrid tomato is a result of cross-pollinating between 2 different types of tomatoes. Now, if a hybrid tomato is planted and it grows and you collect the seeds, those seeds may come out like one of the parents. Now, a lot of companies protect their hybrid mixes, and now we're not talking GMO, we're just talking a pollinating thing that happens naturally in nature. Pollination between one flower and another flower on another cultivar of a tomato. But so the hybrids, sometimes they get a little wonky. You don't always get what you expect. In fact, frequently you don't get what you expect you had before. It's just the way it works. But if you're dealing with heirloom seeds, seeds that have been proven for generation after generation of the plant to provide the same type of food, then you have what's called an heirloom seed or an open-pollinated seed. And those heirloom or open-pollinated seeds can feed you, quite literally, for life, for free. Because you just take a little bit of planting, and when it comes to the end of the season, now this is June, beginning of June in Destin, Florida, we've had a lot of peas. This is the time of the year where, yes, they have all petered out, and we are going to save these seeds and dry them. Just set them out in a little plate on the table. And once they're dry, we'll stick them in a Ziploc bag for the next time we want to plant. Now, we could plant in the fall. I don't generally, because we get, on this 17-foot trellis, we generally get enough peas for a whole year. So we don't even need to do that. So what I'm doing down here, you may have seen the video that we did recently on planting the diamondback rattlesnake beans from Look to Nature Homestead. Well, that's what's coming up down here now. So these are going to be cleared away, make room for another crop this season. In fact, this summer we're going to have beans on this trellis. And I'll be planting more because obviously they're coming up, and I'm very happy to see how they're coming up. But I want you to seriously consider saving seeds from your crop, because it can save you in the long run a lot of money, a whole lot of money, hundreds of dollars worth of money. So I'm just going to work my way through here. In fact, you can see here, look at all these pods. Several seeds, 4 or 5 seeds in each one of these pods. The most seeds I can plant on this trellis is 64 seeds. So all I need is 64 seeds. I guarantee you I've got that in here almost right now. And by the time I get done with this, we will have 64 seeds for next spring's sugar snow peas. Makes me very happy to know that we can provide for ourselves no matter what. We'll have seeds. Now, these seeds won't last forever. We will be using these in the next 2 or 3 years. Here's the thing. This plant right here grew from a seed that I saved in 2022. It was a 4-year-old seed. And look at there. These plants, all the plants up to right here, these plants here are providing 4 years later. And so now I have a pretty good idea of how long I can keep these seeds the way I store them, and in the environment in which I store them, I now know how long they'll last. And that gives me a lot of gratification and knowing we can provide for ourselves here. And, you know, we're not looking to be a self-sufficient here. I would like to be self-sufficient in as much as we can be. But, you know, we'll do what we can, and every little bit helps. Anyway, that's just what's going on today in the Bowtie garden. Thought I would share that with you as I'm out here picking some pea pods and saving seeds for next year. I'd encourage you to look at doing that. Carefully choose what seeds you're going to plant. Choose the seeds based on the plan to save those seeds for next year and the year after and the year after that. So I'll probably collect 100 seeds here. I'll have enough seeds for next year, plus a little extra planted in, and then I'll also have enough seeds to plant the next year. I actually used every single seed I had this year because we were a little bit short. I was a little bit worried. It worked out, didn't it? So anyway, consider saving seeds, the importance of it, and just the stability of it. And sometimes when life gets a little crazy and you don't have the income that you had at one time maybe, or you can't talk because your throat's scratchy, ooh, there's a pod with no seeds in it. You can give yourself some longevity. Anyway, your garden doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Oh, there's some more. And now this gets to go to the compost to feed next year's crops. Have a blessed day, friend.